Welcome back, guys, to an episode of Kate and Isaiah Living Large. I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Kate.
And on this episode, it is our Valentine's Day episode. I think this comes out exactly on Valentine's Day, actually.
Ooh, love day.
Yay, love day. Yeah, but before we get into talking all about Valentine's Day and all the fun or misery that comes along with Valentine's Day, what you got going on?
Well, by the time this airs, I will have just done my Punchlines show the Saturday before. So that's really exciting. Here's to hoping it went well.
Listen, we're going to preemptively say, what a great job you did.
Oh, thanks. Were you there?
Yes, in spirit. Because I am in Utah as of right now when this comes out. So, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll update you on all those real-time things.
When I get back.
When Isaiah's back and on a more regular schedule. But let's just assume that Punchlines was awesome.
Yeah,
and that I won the Hubcap Festival. Yep. And that everything was great.
Yeah, perfect. We'll
put that under the universe. It's like
this will either age really, really well or really, really poorly. And we won't know until it happens.
Nope, sure won't.
What else?
Actually, I do have one other thing. That brings us to this coming out on the 14th. On the 17th of February, I actually am either hosting or performing on a show at the Grove Lounge on Saturday night. It's a free show. Headlining is Catherine Cairns from PEI. She was she opened for James Mullinger last year, and she also was on a TV show with him. So that's pretty freaking killer. Nice. I've seen her live when she opened for Mullinger, and she's fantastic. And also on that show is Michelle Petit, who headlined a show at Punchlines in January. And if you haven't seen Michelle perform comedy, what a riot and a half that woman is. So, yeah. And thanks to Kai Lucas for putting on this Grove Lounge show. So check me out at the Grove Lounge on February 17th, which is 3 days from now when you see this episode.
Yeah. Woo.
Woo. What about you? Anything?
When this episode comes out, I will be missing Valentine's Day in Utah. I will be sitting around Utah, probably doing what our tradition is. This is like the third or fourth Valentine's Day I missed. But I have spaghetti where I am. She has spaghetti where she is, because that's kind of our tradition to have spaghetti on Valentine's Day. So we'll just do it separately and together.
Will you FaceTime and pretend to do the Lady and Tramp thing?
Yeah, we did that. Did I do that last time when I was in? I feel like I talked to her, but we didn't. But when I was in the Philippines for Valentine's Day, we did that when I was in the Philippines.
Where did you find spaghetti in the Philippines?
There's a lot of spaghetti in the Philippines, actually.
Okay.
But they use like a tomato sauce, like a sweet tomato sauce instead of like vinegary tomato sauce.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, that takes us into Valentine's Day. So let's talk a little bit about Valentine's Day.
Sure. Let's do that.
So as a single person,
maybe I'm not single anymore.
Maybe let's put that out in the universe.
Just kidding, I
am. So what is Valentine's Day to you? How do you feel about Valentine's Day?
You know what's funny is I'm the type of person that if I should be like, I shouldn't say how I should be. You can't dictate how you should and shouldn't be, but single for a very long time and really not into it. But I love so much that I really enjoy all of the hearts and the flowers and the chocolate, even if nobody's bringing me any. That is totally fine with me. I love romantic movies. I love the Hallmark Channel. Like, I feel like I'm on a confessional right now because I'm like this stand-up comedian who hangs out with stand-up comedians, and I'm like, yeah, ha ha ha. F the world.
Is that what comedians do?
No, I don't know. Not really. Please no comedians watch this. But I know that it's a commercial holiday. I know it's a reason to give corporations money and it's kind of fictitious, but February is a hard month for a lot of people. Yeah. Why not brighten it up in some way? Even if that's like celebrating the old Valentine's Day situation with your girlfriends or your friends, generally no gender attached, or buying yourself something pretty to wear, or like sporting a little red like we are today. Hey. Like, what's the harm?
That's right. I was always like 50-50 on Valentine's Day. I'm not a like romantic kind of person. I'm really bad at that stuff. Andrea will tell you I'm a terrible person for like anything romantic. Just I don't know. That's just me.
Well, how is she with it?
She's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
she does some crazy stuff. Like one year, she made me like a thing of roses, but instead of like roses, it was like bacon
Nice.
twisted into the rose.
She's so
I
creative.
know, right?
I don't know if we've talked about her enough on this show, but like Andrea is maybe one of the most thoughtful, most creative and wonderful people I know, and a real
True.
catch. Like,
True.
you really nailed that down well.
But I'm not a romantic person at all. Like I don't know. I think of things to do, but I'm not it's just not me. That happens.
And for me, I've never, only 1 year was I ever in a relationship on Valentine's Day. And I was a little thoughtful. It was kind of stupid, but I was in the grocery store and I bought like a little teddy bear, and I made this card. I downloaded an image from the internet because this person and I played Nintendo together all the time, and it said, "You're my player too." And it was like a little like Super Nintendo controller, which we played all the time. So it was kind of a clever gift, but it doesn't have to be a big gesture to me.
Yeah.
Just something dumb and like something to, and I mean, that could happen at any time and it would be equally as meaningful. And it doesn't even have to be a thing. It could just be like an action or whatever. But I don't know, because I live in a dream world where I have also been one of those girls with a Cinderella complex growing up, waiting for Prince Charming to swoop in and save me from whatever I need to be saved from. In some facets of my brain, but in other facets of my brain, I'm very much a pragmatic, like, whatever. I'm gonna take care of myself.
I ain't no need no man.
Well, except no, I don't. No, I don't need a man.
You want a man?
Sure. Yeah, I'd
Put that out of the universe.
But I'd be lying if I said anybody around.
It's Valentine's Day.
Tinder's not working for me.
Maybe the YouTube comment. No, the YouTube comment is like just terrible.
Okay. Well, at least you answer those. You can vet them for me. If somebody seems really nice, pass it on.
Okay. We typically do we always do the spaghetti and garlic bread for Valentine's Day. It's just always been the thing we do, because that was like one of our first date things. Was I went over and I made spaghetti and garlic bread. So that's just kind of our Valentine's Day thing. So I've been away for Valentine's Day like the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So we just typically find spaghetti and garlic bread wherever I'm at, and that's kind of our Valentine's Day thing.
Wouldn't it be funny if you learned that like Andrea actually hates spaghetti?
Well, that would be upsetting. That might be grounds for divorce.
Yeah.
Who eats spaghetti? I don't know. I'll be really sad if people don't like spaghetti.
I'm leery of you. I mean, it's one thing if you can't eat it because you're gluten intolerant or whatever. Like allergies excluded. If you hate spaghetti, you're not a person.
Listen, there's gluten-free spaghetti.
That's not the same.
It's gotten better.
Yeah. So in terms of like some of the classic things that go along with Valentine's Day, the chocolate, like you say, the dinner out, all of these things, when you're a person dealing with the size or like, trying to be healthy and all of that, like how does one find those gestures without
going overboard?
I
think that's a good question, right? Like it's like when we talked about Halloween, same kind of idea, right? Except this one's more of a romantic gesture. And so I think it definitely has to do with like your partner, right? You have to, if your partner on that day understands what you are trying to, like you're trying to lose weight or trying to whatever, I think that is part of that piece, right? Is understanding, hey, maybe we, instead of doing the go out and eat all this dinner and chocolates and stuff, maybe we think about something alternative to do instead of that, right? Yeah,
like there's some really great recipes for somebody made, it was Maria actually one time made these brownies out of, I think out of hummus or out of black beans or something, and they were so good. But there's a way to get that chocolate in without it being like crazy processed, full of sugar and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But still marking it with a gesture. And you also don't have to spend a lot of money. Like that's another thing that, have you seen the price of like greeting cards nowadays? Yeah, cards are crazy. First off,
Now you're gonna be ranting on cards. I don't know. Are you a person to keep a card?
Yeah, I am actually for some time, and especially if it's clever. I find cards a meaningful thing. It to me though, it doesn't. It depends. Like if you're just gonna. I receive some postcards in the mail sometimes from a friend, and every time she goes somewhere, especially Elizabeth Weir, she'll send postcards to people and she'll write a little note. And I find that to receive that in the mail is one of the nicest things. And I don't think I ever thank her enough for them for the amount of joy that they bring in my life. And I've never sent one back because I'm a terrible person.
I think personalized ones with like actual writing is one thing, and then there's just a card for card's sake.
Yeah, a card for, but then there's also like I know that if I'm buying a greeting card, I'm really particular about it. Writer, so of course I'm particular about it. So if I'm buying a funny card, the litmus test for me is that it has to make me laugh out loud in the store. And so I go through a whole bunch of cards that are lame before I find one that legitimately makes me laugh out loud. And then that's the card I pick. So if I ever give you a card, I've put a lot of effort into like choosing it. And then the other side of that, if I'm buying like a touching card, it literally has to make me cry in the store before I buy it.
Interesting.
And then I'll pay the $10. I'll buy the $10 card because I'm an idiot.
I make Andrea do the card stuff because I am first off, I am a terrible person at like picking up anything. And when I do cards, I just write my name because I'm terrible at writing sentimental things.
Oh, I almost always write a note of some. Again, I'm a writer. Like that's what I do. If I can't freaking write a note in a card, what's even the point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just terrible. I even like yearbooks. When I was doing my yearbook, it was just my name. Like I don't. Are you serious? I do not do well when it comes to like sentimental thought writing down.
You just sparked a memory for me. You know, the signing of a yearbook. Have you ever gone through yours since high school? And reread them?
Once I did.
I've done it a couple of times because often it's like I'll re-meet somebody as an adult and be like, oh, I wonder where they're at. And then I'll look up their picture in the yearbook and then I'll like stumble upon the note that they left in mine. And there's a really hilarious one where somebody was like, you need to save, I don't know if you remember this, but you need to save me this much space because I want to write something really good for you. Yeah. So there's this one person, I can't remember who it was, but they're like, save me half a page. So I have a blank half page in my yearbook that says reserved for Kim or something like that, and nothing.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Yeah, that is funny. Actually, I should find her and like make her sign it now. I haven't seen you in 20 years.
I've been saving this space specifically for you.
So like, love you, Lilas. Do you remember that? LY? Probably not. It's love you like a sister.
That's not something that I know. It's one of those old timey acronyms.
So Lilas, and then like stay cool, never change.
Stay cool, never change.
Have a great summer.
A classic.
The other thing that's in my yearbook is riddled with is phone numbers, but it's phone numbers to these people's parents' homes. But I lived in Quispam, and so back in the day, you only had to dial the 7-digit number, unlike now where you have to dial the 10-digit
lost
number.
On that.
But all the phone numbers were the same. It was either 847 or 849. So people used to be like 9-4857 or 7-4030.
Oh, jeez.
It'd be fun to call those someday.
See if
this episode really took a turn.
I know. We're not talking about Valentine's Day. We're talking about signatures and stuff now. Oh,
great. But yeah, no, in terms of like Valentine's Day, like I think having been in I'm taking this back on point. I used to just long so much to have the partnership and to be in a couple until I was in a relationship that was awful.
Yeah.
And now I'm quite content being single. Like, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd love to have a partner, but I'm also pretty good on my own.
I remember like middle school and high school Valentine's Day being like over the top thing you had to do. And then I don't know. I just after high school, I just felt like it was not something that I cared about.
Right.
I mean, it kind of goes back to the same thing when with Christmas stuff, and we don't do gifts on Christmas because why would we not just do gifts all year round?
Right.
Same thing kind of goes for Valentine's Day. You know, it's a day at the end of the day. I mean, we have like our thing that we do, but at the end of the day, it's like we do things for each other all year round instead of just one day.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing with any holiday is that if you're a crappy person who's not treating your partner well or not treating your friends well, you're not treating your family well, and then one day a year you really come through with a hell of a day, whether it's like a huge plan from start to finish, and you've got wine, you've got chocolate, you've got the whole thing, but you're actually terrible. Well, that's no fun.
Right.
But if you like, for me, it's like I like any reason to celebrate somebody. Like I love birthdays, not just my birthday, but I love everybody's birthday because I like the idea of just like taking that time. And not because I get them gifts or anything like that, because I'm not necessarily even good at that. It's mostly like I just want to like celebrate that person in some way. So Valentine's Day is a nice way to celebrate love, even though it's if you're not hypocritical, cynical. It's built on absolute BS, but why not?
Yeah, no,
it's not hurting anyone.
I totally get that for sure, and I'm definitely not against anyone who wants to celebrate and wants to do that kind of thing. But again, just for me, it's just another day. I mean, again, we have our thing that we do. We do that,
which is sweet. I think that's adorable, and I don't think it has to be any more than that.
Yeah. So
any potential suitors are listening. I don't need all the whole 9 yards.
So it's gonna be pretty simple. And again, I've spent the last couple of years traveling on Valentine's Day, so it's like
and it wasn't world ending. Like you and Andrea didn't like cry together because you were traveling because like you said, it's just a day,
right? Exactly.
But you did find a way to commemorate it. So you say that it's just a day and it's not a big deal, but you do find something to acknowledge it.
True. More. I think more because it's kind of one of our like first dates kind of thing.
Was your first date around Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet.
So
I like you guys even more now.
Oh my god.
Will you and Andrea both be my Valentine?
Sure. I'll speak for her. Sure.
I'll come see Andrea and eat some spaghetti with her.
Yeah.
We'll call you.
Well, I'm in Utah. Yeah.
I'll actually be at Big Tide hosting trivia that day.
Oh man. No, I'll be in Utah. I'll figure it out. I mean, I'll also be in Utah for the Super Bowl. I realized again this year.
That's cool. Where is do we know where the Super Bowl is going to be?
Yes, I don't remember where it's going to be.
Do you like the Super Bowl? You're a Green Bay fan or something. Yeah, and they're doing well. No, they just lost.
By the time this episode comes out,
the Super Bowl will be long over.
Super Bowl will be way over.
Oh yeah.
But
sports.
Break the glass window on this recording. They lost last night.
Yeah, I saw I was at last night. This
last night is weeks ago now. But I was at Rockies, which is abnormal for me, and I saw a guy with a cheese head on. Nice. But yeah, no, I'll be in Utah. Well, I'll be in Utah until the 6th of March.
Well, I'm glad you'll be at least back for my birthday on March 11th.
Yeah, I leave February 6th and back March 2nd.
Wow.
It'll be a long, long time in,
Crazy. And do you I know you like to travel, but do you like being away that long?
This will be the first time I've been away for a full month. Normally it's like 2 weeks here and there. So we'll see how a full month goes. We'll see.
All right. Well, on that note, seems like a good time to wrap it up.
Yes. So where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me. We can find us at Kate and Isaiah Living Large on Facebook, Caitlin Dean on Facebook. You can find me at the Caitlin Dean on Twitter, at Fat Caitlin on TikTok. What about you? I am at Maritime Brews on all of the social medias, and I will be posting a lot of my travel pictures and stuff there. You could probably see some of my Colombia stuff there already. Nice. And Colombia stuff is great. Yeah, and you'll see a lot of Utah stuff coming up. And then, of course, you can always find us on the YouTube.
on YouTube. If you are listening on like Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast, you can come check us out on YouTube to watch the video recordings of us talking and seeing all our crazy gestures and our lovely red today for Valentine's Day. But if you are listening on YouTube, if you can like, share, subscribe, and comment, that goes a long way to helping us out. But until next week, bye.
Bye.